Hi, I'm Tekoa De Silva with Sprott Global Resource Investments, and I'm sitting down here today with Eric Sprott, Chief Executive Officer and Senior Portfolio Manager of Sprott Asset Management. Eric, thank you for joining me.
Hey, Tekoa, good to be here and happy to see you joining Sprott Global. It's quite exciting. We've done the interviews before, but great to meet you in person.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. So, Eric, you've indicated that we've reached an inflection point in the precious metals. As of 6 weeks ago, what are the signs that you're seeing in the marketplace right now that give you that conviction?
Sure. Well, there's been some very interesting developments in the precious metals markets. I would say the most interesting one is the fact that the equivalent to the SEC in Germany, it's called, the acronym is BaFin, came out on, I think it was January 17th, and said that the main regulator, excuse me, said that precious metals are manipulated worse than LIBOR. And that word "worse" is a very significant word in my mind. And then when you think about some of the chronology for BaFin, they announced in the middle of November that they were going to investigate the possible fixing of gold prices or manipulating gold prices on the London Gold Fix. On the middle of December, they were said to have gone into Deutsche Bank's offices to review their trading records. As I said, on January 17th, the head of that regulator said that it's worse than LIBOR. And on the next day, Deutsche Bank declined to continue to become a member of the fixing of the London bullion market. And when you think about what must have happened, my own feeling is that the regulator probably went back to Deutsche Bank, having looked at their records, and said, do you know what your boys in London have been doing here? And of course, the next day they quit the LBMA. And then when I reflect on that regulator saying that, okay, well, let's look at what happened last year. First of all, if you think about manipulation, there's only one reason in my mind that bankers manipulate things. They don't manipulate them for the bank to make money. They manipulate them for the employees to make bonuses. When are bonuses determined? They're determined June and December, end of the month. When did the gold price hit its lows last year? The last trading day of June and the last trading day of December. And if you can accept that it was manipulated, then you therefore would come to the conclusion, oh, and it's been discovered, then maybe they won't manipulate anymore. And you know, where can we go from here knowing that we won't have these kind of repressive forces on the gold price? So I think when you look at what's been made public about manipulation and what we have analyzed over the years, the flows of physical metals, which has suggested to us that there's so much buying of physical metals that the central banks must be active in this market on the sell side, not declaring their sales, because I honestly think the demand for gold is twice the annual mine supply. So I think we have lots of exciting things to look forward to in 2014. I think we could see a massive run up in the price of silver and gold, both to new highs. And of course, the impact on stocks would be incredibly dramatic.
Eric, as a matter of record, you sold some bullion recently in which the proceeds have been reallocated into the producers. If this is true, can you explain that strategy? Is it time sensitive, and if so, why now?
Sure. Well, I've always believed that the price was manipulated. We know that the producers got just massacred in 2013, as they were also weak in 2012. They got down to probably, in some cases, 10 cents on the dollar, or less, what their highs were. In fact, I think I bought a stock at 12 cents that had been as high as $5 when the price was $19.20. It's a producer, and I have a simple formula. If the price of gold goes to 2,000, the average gold producer probably has a cost of production all in of 1,000. So you take his production. In the case of this 12-cent company, he had about 85,000 ounces of production. If he could make $1,000 an ounce, he'd be making $85 million. And I think the market cap at 12 cents was something like $30 million. Well, if you can make pre-tax $85 million, $60 million after tax, and you trade at 10 times earnings, you become a $600 million market cap company that was trading for $30 million. So you can make 20 times your money on a less than 100% move in the price of gold. So that's why I was a seller of metals to buy the stocks.
Eric, Forbes magazine, they added you to their list of billionaires in 2012, indicating that you started out as a research analyst, now having built a multi-billion-dollar Sprott group of companies. So I'd like to ask, what's been your secret to success in being able to build this company throughout your life?
Well, I think the secret to success is being an analyst, recognizing value, wanting to buy things that can go up a very large amount. I always thought I will never buy a stock unless I think it can go up at least 100% within the first 2 years. And of course, opportunities do come along when you can imagine, well, this could go up 1,000% or 2,000% because you're really early. And it's interesting that we just talked about situations where I'm imagining a stock could go up 2,000% here. And that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. And it's not an easy path because some of the companies don't do as well as you expect. Some economic developments come along that affect how people treat it in the stock market. But when it wins, it's such a huge payoff that it's not that difficult to increase your wealth exponentially. And I think maybe that's the reason my wealth has increased exponentially.
What do you feel makes Sprott Asset Management unique as a firm?
Sure. Well, I think we're pretty strident in our views about what's going on in the world economy. When I think of all the partners that I have, whether it's Rick Rule, John Amory, Mark Faber, who's on our board, we've all been very outspoken about what's going on in the financial system. I don't want to put words in everyone's mouth, but I would generally say we think of it as a Ponzi scheme, or as Rick Rule would call it, counterfeiting of money. And so we're looking for ways to survive that situation. And I think that's what we bring to clients. We're willing to believe in ourselves, and notwithstanding, for example, the huge declines that we've experienced in precious metals in the last 2 years, we're still staying the course because obviously we think when we come out of this and all the truth is known, that that's the place to be in the financial situation we find ourselves.
Eric Sprott, Chief Executive Officer and Senior Portfolio Manager of Sprott Asset Management, thank you for sharing your comments with us.
Thank you, Takoa.